This continuation of the first Maleficent film opens in quite a while. Three men approach a tree where little mushroom pixies are stowing away. The man snatches for them, and he figures out how to get a couple. They are halted and gone after by an animal with huge horns. Two of the men are killed by this animal, while one departs with one of the little mushroom pixies. He returns it to the realm of Ulstead for an obscure reason. The storyteller expresses that it has been a long time since wrathful Angelina Jolie became gatekeeper to Princess Aurora, Elle Fanning, subsequent to safeguarding her from her dad, Lord Stephen, yet the tale about Baneful has been wound to keep painting her as an antagonist. In the current day, Aurora is sovereign of the fields, managing every single otherworldly animal. The pixies Knotgrass, Imelda Taunton, Thistlewit, Juno Sanctuary, and Flittle, Leslie Manville, stop by to tell Aurora something, alongside a little porcupine pixie called Pinto. She takes Aurora's crown and leads her to pursue her, just for Aurora to fall in the waterway. As she leaves, she is met by ruler Philip, Harris Dickinson. Aurora acknowledges what is happening, and Philip proposes to her. She acknowledges, to the enjoyment of the multitude of pixies. Notwithstanding, Diable, Sam Riley, hears this and flies over to tell Evil. Before he can complete his sentence, an extremely despondent Baneful dips down to go get Aurora. In Ulstead, Philip rides with General Percival, David Gyasi, back to the realm. Like the vast majority of the others in Ulstead, Percival sees Baneful and the moorfolk as lethal beasts. Philip goes to his folks, Ruler John, Robert Lindsay, and Sovereign Ingrid, Michelle Pfeiffer, to convey the news that Aurora has acknowledged his proposition. The two of them praise him, and they anticipate having both Aurora and Baneful present for a supper. We then see Ingrid travel to a lower level in the palace where she has a few specialists producing weapons. She meets a worker of hers, Lickspittle, Warwick Davis, who is currently making something hazardous by utilizing a specific bloom. It is additionally shown that Ingrid is involving the reviled shaft as a component of her arrangement. Wrathful flies down to meet with Aurora. She straightforwardly voices her endorsement over the commitment, however Aurora simply believes Baneful and Philip's family should get along. Pernicious realizes that she isn't needed in that frame of mind, for the well-being of Aurora, she vows to appear and act. Diable helps her work on being courteous, while Aurora gives her a shroud to cover her horns, in order to make individuals in the realm more agreeable. Pernicious goes with Aurora and Diable into Ulstead to meet John and Ingrid. Things initially appear to be off base when Ingrid purposely puts iron flatware out, realizing without a doubt how iron damages pixies. Ingrid begins to heap on by raising Evil's revile and the vanishing of the men in the fields, proposing she might have had something to do with it. The straw that broke the camel's back comes when Ingrid says that Aurora will presently have a genuine mother once she weds Philip. Evil furies out and spreads her wings to threaten everybody. At the point when she requests to Aurora that they leave, John unexpectedly seems to become sick prior to blacking out. Ingrid causes everybody to accept that Pernicious has reviled John, yet she denies it to Aurora. At the point when Aurora won't join her, Evil takes off. Ingrid has her henchwoman Gerda, Jen Murray, fire iron at Pernicious, making her fall into the sea. Minutes after the fact, an animal looking like her plunges down and safeguards her. John is laid in his room. Aurora and Philip recommend that Ingrid use genuine romance's kiss on him to awaken him. Since she clearly doesn't adore him and is, truth be told, the person who reviled him, it doesn't work. Gerda then reports to Ingrid about the other animal that snatched Baneful. Wrathful awakens to view as her injury tended to. She meanders and goes over a get-together of other dull pixies, or fays, including Connell, Chiwetelejaifer, the person who saved her. Co-pioneer Bora, Ed Skrine, sees the people as the foe, faulting them for the vanishing of the pixies. They see Evil, and Bora heads toward mock her relationship with a human. This makes her frantic enough to show her power against Bora, which he really finds perfect as he suspects they can utilize her power against a people. Connell then takes Baneful across the land, which is a secret society of different pixies that have special abilities. Connell likewise shows Pernicious that she has slid from a pixie phoenix, yet her predecessor involved her power for dull purposes and was solidified. He cautions Wrathful about utilizing that sort of force. Pinto slips into the palace and tracks down the mushroom pixie, however she gets caught by Lickspittle and set along the other taken pixies. In the meantime, Aurora is remaining in the palace, with Ingrid professing to be cherishing toward her, yet it turns out to be clear she is controlling, as she favors Aurora wear her old wedding dress rather than the one that the three pixies made for her. Lickspittle is then displayed to have finished Ingrid's weapon. He shows her how it functions. The bits of the bloom are blended in with iron powder to turn it red and make it quickly deadly to pixies. Lickspittle snatches an unfortunate dandelion pixie and makes it burst into dust with the smallest dash of the powder. Ingrid prepares to utilize it and has Gerda welcome, or rather, request, the moorfolk to go to Aurora and Philip's wedding. There's something off about amidst a festival, pernicious faculties something. She travels to the fields and finds that Ingrid's fighters have taken the blossoms. They have additionally trapped her and discharge iron projectiles at her, however Connell jumps in to save her, injuring himself. Different pixies fend off the fighters and return to let Connell go. Bora broadcasts to different pixies that Ingrid has started a conflict against them and they will battle together as a military. Wrathful stays close by as he passes on, in which he moves his substance to her, while he turns out to be important for the earth. The moorfolk start to show up in the realm for the function. Aurora then, at that point, detects something from the spot on her finger where she had been pricked. She runs over Ingrid's mysterious nest and finds the shaft, which permits her to see that Ingrid cut John with a reviled end. She likewise finds that Lickspittle is a pixie who had to work for Ingrid after she took his wings. Ingrid tracks down Aurora and has her watchman detain her. Ingrid has all the moorfolk locked inside the sanctuary as Gerda discharges the red powder inside, which kills a portion of the tree society. Outside, Baneful and Bora lead different pixies to retaliate, yet they are hit with various powder bombs, quickly killing some of them and driving them to fall back. Aurora lets Philip know what his mom has done, and when he gains reality from Ingrid, who shows no regret, Philip resists her and leaps off the pinnacle, getting away from on an inflatable. Bora dips down and nearly kills Percival when he endeavors to strike another pixie, however Philip intercedes. He tells Bora he doesn't need his mom's conflict and he won't have Pixie a guilty conscience. Pernicious observes this and acknowledges Philip can be relied upon. She actually pursues his mom and appearances her on the pinnacle. In the interim, after another tree animal penances himself to save the three pixies, Flittle flies into the organ to forfeit herself, making her substance fill the organ with blossoms that prevent the powder from spreading. Knotgrass and Thistlewit then, at that point, fly right in front of Gerda, making her tumble off the overhang to her demise. Aurora runs up to stop Maleficent from killing Ingrid, saying she knows that she is not as evil as they say she is. Ingrid then fires an arrow at Aurora, but Maleficent takes the hit and disintegrates. As Aurora weeps, Ingrid tells her that she is the one who spread the stories about Maleficent being evil, as she wanted to take control of the moors by wiping out the creatures there. Aurora's tears then cause Maleficent to regenerate into her powerful phoenix form. She causes the nearby tower to collapse, and Ingrid makes one last cowardly move by throwing Aurora off the tower. Maleficent goes to save her, and they tumble across the ground. As Ingrid tries to escape, she is found by Bora and the other fairies. Outside, Maleficent asks Philip if he truly loves Aurora, and he says he truly does. Maleficent gives her blessing, and Lickspittle comes to give her the cursed knife that Ingrid used. Maleficent breaks the curse, causing the spindle to disappear and for John to wake up. Ingrid is then dropped out of the castle through vines before Maleficent turns her into a goat for her punishment. Philip is happy to see his father again, and they both decide they'll wait to let Ingrid turn human again. Aurora and Philip are formally hitched, with Evil strolling her down the passageway, and the people and pixies are coordinated into the two realms. Knotgrass and Thistlewit quarrel about what variety Aurora's dress ought to be until a close-by blossom turns it blue, inferring that Flittle could in any case be alive. Baneful goes to rejoin different pixies as she says goodbye to the new couple, however brazenly vows to be back for their child's initiating.